I'd like to welcome our Kaipātiki Local Board Chair John Gillon and Deputy Chair Danielle Grant.
Hello, councillors.
Kia ora. Hello, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to your committee. You may have seen our resolution. It's quite lengthy. We've decided to focus on just a handful of our top priorities. And I'll be handing over to Deputy Chair Danielle Grant to cover our first priority, which is the Northern Pathway connections, and then I'll be following up with a number of others.
Thank you. So the Northern Pathway is a key piece of infrastructure, and obviously, as Devonport Takapuna have just mentioned, there are certainly some questions. But assuming all is going forward, we're definitely in support of all three stages and appreciate that the Harbour Bridge section is absolutely paramount. But it provides all of those other connections into the rest of the North Shore and obviously to the rest of Auckland. We've been working quite closely with Waka Kotahi and really finding that they do not have enough funding for all of the connections that we would like to see into the Northern Pathway. So there are a number of reserves that the Northern Pathway goes right beside, and potentially there's no linkage into them. So there's a list here. And we're working quite hard, and we're putting in our own renewal budgets, and we've been concentrating on these, like Tough Crater, for example. You know, over $1 million going in track upgrades that we've been chipping away with our renewals to make sure that we can have that connection to the Northern Pathway. So that's really quite key for us, and probably it's those ongoing relationships that we're all having with Waka Kotahi, Auckland Transport, to make sure that we can all achieve this outcome. We certainly agree. Our local board members have been talking about a bike bus over the Harbour Bridge. Please give it some serious consideration. It's not an expensive option, but it's something that links us, because at the moment we're finding that it's difficult to get across with the ferries, enough bikes with the ferries, and there just aren't that many options. Okay, so moving on, we've got Oniwa Road. So Oniwa Road connects through into the Northern Pathway, but what we're finding is that we haven't got enough of our infrastructure to actually be able to get back up from the Northern Pathway and back up into the rest of our community. So that's on the northern side, and we're really looking for a wider shared path. That's Northern Pathway. Over to John.
Thank you, Danielle. Still on Oniwa Road, we are looking for out-of-the-box solutions to the congestion on Oniwa Road, noting that many commuters will not be able to be enticed or forced onto public transport. And some of those reasons are due to needing their vehicle to pick up or drop off children, carry tools or equipment, to travel to locations outside the city centre that are not well serviced by public transport, to visit multiple locations in a timely manner during the course of the day, have multiple young children to manage, require the use of a pram or double pram, or have a disability that precludes public transport. We're also seeking an increase in ferry service frequency for Beach Haven, Birkenhead and Northcote sailings, and also improving the bus connections to the ferries. Ferries are the North Shore's equivalent of rail, and they require frequent and reliable sailings to both increase commuter and weekend patronage. Still on ferries, we are requesting that Council look into wake-free ferries to minimise the impact on coastal environment from ferry wake. We are seeing anecdotally an increase in erosion around our coastline since the ferries have been increasing, so it's something we definitely want looked into. We're seeking a survey of the Kaipātiki community to better understand the destinations of private car owners, where they're going, why they can't use public transport, to help us identify potential new bus routes in order to support people to use public transport. You will have seen recently a lengthy resolution distributed from us regarding the downgrade of suburban roads to chip seal. Since we passed that, we've been in discussions with Auckland Transport and have been looking at the rejuvenation technique which they are trialling in certain areas. We are seeking that the rejuvenation technique be applied to it lengthens the life of the asphalt road by a few years without needing to go to chip seal. So we're asking that that be seriously considered rather than downgrading to chip seal. We're also asking that Auckland Transport and Waka Kotahi negotiate an appropriate level of subsidy for the rejuvenation technique to ensure that the roads are no longer downgraded to chip seal. In our area, there's a particular intersection we would like considered for safety improvements, and that is Greenfield Road and Roberts Road. It's a very dangerous intersection and includes a blind corner. And the last one we're mentioning today is that there's an informal car park at 450 Glenfield Road that we request is returned to public car parking to support the local businesses and shoppers. It was purchased by North Shore City in order to replace other lost car parking. However, it is currently leased to a neighbouring business. So we're down in the number of car parks in Glenfield. And in our Glenfield Centre plan, we are looking at repurposing it in the future for a public square type activity. And so we're requesting that it become public car park until such time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have a question from Councillor Henderson.
Thank you. Bit of an eyebrow raise on out-of-the-box solutions to congestion on Oniwa Road. Do you have an example of what that might mean exactly for people that aren't familiar with that road?
Well, we're looking for out of the box. So we're looking for new solutions. We'd like the whole area to be looked at and look for some new solutions. At the moment, it seems to be a carrot and stick approach, and it's not. It's just not working.
Just a supplementary. Have there been studies looked into on the road, or is that something you'd be seeking to do?
We would like studies down the road. The main thing that for us at the moment is to find out why it is that our public cannot move to public transport more than what they are at the moment. And there are some definite reasons why. There was a small sample study done in 2018 that found that only about 50% of those going down the road are heading to this inner city. So we know we've got 3 schools on the road, we've got churches and that. So there's other reasons why they're using Oniwa Road. So we need to look for other solutions rather than just trying to get people onto the bus to get to the city.
Okay, we have Councillor Walker.
I've just got a question around the bike to bridge, the bus for the bikes. There have been instances in the past where those sorts of things have operated sometimes privately. Has the local board considered maybe putting out an expression of interest for people that may be interested in that? Yes, it might need some subsidy.
No, we haven't at this stage. It's really it's an idea to see if it finds favour, and it was encouraging to hear that Devonport Takapuna are pushing for the same thing. So yes, potentially there is an opportunity for the 2 local boards to work towards something like this. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, I had 2 more hands go up, but it's up to you guys if you want to ask your questions or keep going. Oh, that's okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more boards to go. So up to you guys. You want to go ahead? Yep. Okay, go for it. Councillor Stewart.
Thank you for that. I was just interested in your renovation road sealing technique. Have you seen that anywhere else?
Yes.
Yes, there is an example in Unsworth Heights, so just outside our area. I actually went on a trip with a number of AT staff to have a look at that. So that's the trial that's going on at the moment. It looks very promising. It is not subsidised by Waka Kotahi though, so that's something that we're asking. If that could be subsidised, and that could become the new way of extending the life of asphalt services, and we won't need to downgrade them to chip seal.
Yeah, no, I'd like to come and have a look at that. And I see that it's it's made up of coal, oil, and other solvents and things like that. So that'll be interesting. But so your board's quite happy with that?
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Just to add to that, through the chair, we have had indicative indication that there will be several roads in the Kaipatiki local board area that will be able to have the rejuvenation technique this coming financial year as well. So I'm hoping that gets locked into place, and then we'll have some trial sites in our area too.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.